Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of ClueCon Weekly. Joining us this week is Len Graham, FreeSWITCH engineer from SignalWire and old friend of many people who've been working with FreeSWITCH for a long time now. But today, I think Len is going to introduce something that's, well, FreeSWITCH is fun, but something more fun, right, Len?
Yep, FreeSWITCH is always fun. It's always fun to throw around too.
Yeah, but what's coming up? So this is the first in a series of ClueCon Weeks we're doing about ClueCon Proper, which is our big conference coming up in August, starting on August 14th, right? So what's happening on August 14th, actually?
Well, ClueCon, which is something that happens yearly. It's a developer conference by developers. It's a great place to be for like-minded individuals. But this year, I think I'm going to talk about the Maker Challenge.
Wow, nice.
Which is something that takes like Arduino boards. I have one here. It's a little ESP32 microcontroller that works with Arduino gotchas. So we got the board here and all the different pins, and then this is like this white piece is called a breadboard, and then there's this breakout board that takes these little pins and makes it easier to work with. And I'll zoom in a little bit here. Then I have like different buttons here. Backwards here. So there's a button there, and then this is a DH11 sensor for like this blue thing for like weather sense, like the pressure and what the temperature is inside, and this is like a gyroscope that senses. So if the axis changes, and so what I thought would be neat is to use SignalWire's APIs to work with this. So first, I'm starting with SMS. So if you press one of these buttons, it sends a predefined message to a predefined number. So you press the button, so you can say maybe this is a doorbell. You can make a doorbell that sends you a text message. Kind of like one of those video doorbells, but with text messaging. And then next, I think I might work on something where it'll press and send what the temperature is. So it'll grab the values from that sensor and send out.
Well, you could do a lot of different things. Like I'm thinking about the pressure sensor and temperature sensor can detect a sharp drop in pressure, which indicates the weather is turning bad. So if you ever, that would be cool to do, like something, run a wire outside your window, and then if it's starting to rain, text yourself something like, "Hey, you need to get your laundry inside, or it's gonna get wet," or stuff like that.
You have an umbrella.
Oh yeah, bring an umbrella. That's great. So so this has been going on for a while. What interesting solutions have people built in the past?
Last year, there was a team that took a remote control car that used IR sensors, and they made like a track and used a sensor to go around the track with this not a radio, but this like robot controlled car. And then they used SignalWire SDK with an IVR to control it. Like, press 1 to go this way, press 2 to go that way. So that was pretty neat to see, like a whole group of people from, I forget which company it was, but they all got together and really put this amazing thing together. It was really neat to see.
Nice, yeah. Maybe this year we could see someone use voice too. I think Arduinos do have some microphone capabilities.
Yeah,
speakers for sure.
Different microphones, and you can another thing you can use firmware to flash these to use MicroPython.
Oh yeah.
So I was messing with that a little bit, where you can do like a very small embedded web server, and then from there you just go to that IP address for the web server, and then I did the same thing, a little bit different, where it was a form where you can define whatever phone number you want to send to, and send from, and then send just like a text message and hit submit right from the web form.
Something that could work is you could combine it to approaches, and it doesn't have much. I mean, Arduino, I don't know how much local storage is, but it could probably hold a few images. So if you have a camera on board and there's not enough storage, I mean, not enough bandwidth, or you don't have enough kind of real-time ways to connect, you could page yourself, send yourself a message, which is a link to the image, and there you go. There's an alarm system right there.
Yep.
It's
this one on the back of it, what's neat is it has an SD card.
Oh yeah, so you can do a lot too. Is that
So
an
you can just
Arduino,
save
though?
it. What's that?
That's an ESP, is it?
Yep, ESP32.
Oh yeah, those are great. I mean, we're talking Arduinos, but ESP is a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
I-
it uses our Arduino sketches. So it's
I have like 10 of them sitting around doing weird things. So yeah, ESP32s. There's the display on top. One thing we could try and do, which will probably horribly backfire, but will be super fun, is try and wire up a video room to an ESP32 and see what shows on display. It's
yeah,
going to try and display. It's going to just be 10 pixels.
yeah, I tried like an embedded room and it didn't work out too well. So I think a different approach is needed.
Maybe you need more processing power, to be honest.
Maybe because I think it's like 400 megahertz.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, probably video needs a bit more work on it.
Which I mean, it would be kind of cheating. You could embed like an iframe to a video room, but I don't know if you can pick up the camera from it doing that.
Well, we can sit down and do it together. So
yeah, or
come join us at the Coder
come join
Games,
us.
and come join us at the Coder Games, and you'll find me and Len toiling away at some weird concoction, including a camera and a couple USBs. Maybe we can use more than one. Like you can have one just to do the video stuff, and then have the other run the actual application. There's a bunch of different approaches we could do. I don't want to use a Raspberry; it's too easy.
Yeah, that's what I did. One of the other years for Dangerous Demo.
Oh yeah,
I
what
had
did you
this
do?
other board. It's off right now, but it had all kind of like light sensors and LCD and weather, temperature, and then for pressure also. But this would send out to a service that turned the codes into an JSON API. So you can call that JSON API, just call back JSON, and then I would put that into a file, and then I use a PHP relay to read a text file. So you press 1 and run through the loop, and then do a text to speech.
Here's another idea for people. There is a wearable version of the ESP32, which is called the M5 stack, which is actually built. It's a different form factor of the same board, but it's built to be put in a case that's about the size of a smartwatch, and it has a small display on top and has buttons already wired up, and it has a camera module. So build your own spy camera using SignalWire and ESP32. That's okay. That's gonna maybe land me into trouble now that I think about it. Great. So if someone knocks at my door and I have to leave the recording, you know why that happened. Yeah. But yes, the M5 stack is a great platform. So I suggest maybe you could have a few lying around. They're about the same price of the ESPs. Maybe you can do a wearable kind of thing. Do you remember the time when there was a dangerous demo using embedded hardware years ago, where someone put a FreeSWITCH server on a Raspberry Pi, wrapped the Raspberry into like couple feet thickness of bubble wrap, and then taped it all around. It was just a big ball of bubble wrap, and people were passing it around the room, and we were showing the calls were still working on screen, meaning that FreeSWITCH is very resilient.
Yep. That was my first ClueCon. That was me and Mark Crane from Fusion PBX.
So you built that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I honestly had no idea.
Yeah, Mark had me working on a project to make Debian packages for Raspberry Pi. And I thought I would show that, I have it working, it's completed, and so I brought it to the conference. and he signed up for Dangerous Demo, or of course he was kind of pushed into doing Dangerous Demos because James Bowden is very persuasive.
I had no idea. I had no idea I was meeting the man, the myth. That's probably the single most talked about demo.
Yeah.
That
Which I had no plans of doing it. It was a last minute thing. What Mark was going to do wasn't kosher. It wasn't good enough for James. So Mark's like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" I'm like, so we started brainstorming. We only had like an hour, and it might have even been less time. It was like a short amount of time. And so I was like, I have this Raspberry Pi, and so we started brainstorming, and we put our minds together and came up with this contraption, just what you described. And he ran up to the UPS store and got bubble wrap and
yeah.
like
There's a UPS store. There's a UPS store in that hotel actually, right next to the Oval, like the concourse has the UPS store right there. So it's
he like ran up to it, and I was like, I went out into the hallway and just grabbed one of the FreeSWITCH TVs to connect, so I can connect to the Wi-Fi. And it was like down to the second, and it's like, where is this next person up? And I'm like, I'm trying to get the Wi-Fi to work. So finally get it to work, and we're up on stage, and it all came together, and it was being tossed around, and someone drop kicked it and almost talked the head off of one of the people in the crowd, and it was Carol. And then
I mean, guys, if we haven't, guys and girls, if we haven't convinced you to come to ClueCon yet, I don't know what will. Like, there's giant balls of bubble wrap flying around with telephony servers in it. Yep. So what else? I mean, I don't think we need to give you any other information. Like, the talks are secondary. We have world-class speakers and important research being presented and cutting-edge solutions. Doesn't matter. Bubble wrapped servers. That's actually one of the things people remember the most. Very, very, very interesting. Cool.
Yep. Maybe there's a lot of tasty beverages afterwards, and
oh yeah, we always had a lot of fun. So what else? I mean, what kind of experience you need to participate in the coding games? You think it's something that beginners can get, or do you need very specific skills? Is there help available in case someone maybe has one component down pat, but they don't know about the others? For example, I built like 20 embedded things in my life. I'm not a super duper embedded engineer. I'm good at other things. So what's the kind of, is it open to everyone?
Yeah, this is open to everyone. What I'm working on is like a guide on doing some basic examples. So if you can follow a guide, and hopefully I make one that you can follow, you should be able to participate without any issues. So far, I have a GitHub repo set up for this. I have 2 working examples ready to go. So you just have to take your SignalWire credentials and fill in the blanks, and then take one of these and put all the different pieces together, and then you should be good to go. But I'll be there. Some other people will be there to help also. So, if you get stuck, I'll be happy to help.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, so that's open to everyone. Well, so of course the coder games are more about the embedded stuff. Are there going to be other events that are more pure programmer oriented, like someone wants to build something on the SignalWire API and whatever, but they don't like, or they don't know how to do the hardware stuff? Are there going to be other events other than the coder games?
I think there may be. There's still things being finalized for this year's ClueCon. So I don't know. There's talk about like maybe some money, like if you make something, there will be money involved for you.
So that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking, because they don't let me participate ever. I feel like I feel like I'm left out. I did build some of the APIs, so that's fair. So, yeah. I always watch from the outside. It's always fun. Jokes aside, it is. Last year there was an interesting build something with SignalWire competition. It was great, spanning the whole conference time. So it's you can do it at your own pace, and it's always. I think that was a good format as opposed to. I mean, hardware has to be confined to one day because if you have to do things, plus it's smaller projects. Someone building something bigger in SignalWire probably takes a few days, knowing that they're also attending the conference, so there's a lot. There's a lot going on there. And you think it's going to be speaking at ClueCon this year?
What's up?
Are you going to be speaking at ClueCon this year? You think you're going to have a talk?
I'm not sure. There's always that option. It could be a surprise. Who knows?
And we'll have FreeSWITCH training, which is always fun, and we'll probably do together. So there's that too. So if people want to learn about FreeSWITCH from any levels, any starting points, just come to us and ask. And we also have a community Slack where you can ask questions, and we're usually around to help. And it's always nice. But back to ClueCon. So ClueCon is going to be from August 14th this year to August 18th, correct?
That sounds correct.
Yeah. It's in Chicago at the Drake Hotel this year, and I think there's a sale going on. So by the time this airs, there might be no sales, but the sale is ending this week. But try asking. Maybe we can hook you up with something. So August 14th to 17th, 2023, and there's a lot going on there, and it's plus you get to meet people like me and Len, and especially, more important people like our founder and CEO, Anthony Minisali, and all of the other people from the SignalWire team.
Yep. Yeah, August 14th to the 17th, and I think tomorrow is the last day. So depending on when this goes out, I think the 30th of March is the last day. For that discount. But I wanted to mention about dangerous demos. I think I did a little.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah, that's important. I mean, that's where the ball of bubble wrap comes from, right?
Yep. And then you can get one of these looking crystals. This is for the riskiest demo. These things are really neat. I did a Raspberry Pi that did SRT stream into one of these conferences, and it was on a Frisbee. I think I have the Frisbee over here.
Yeah, you seem to have something with breaking.
Yeah, I love to throw a free switch around. I mean, after a while, you'll know what I'm talking about. Why it feels so good to throw a free switch, but.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I got this Frisbee here, and
yeah, at times it does feel good to throw your servers around, like guys. It is.
Because it is a ton of fun, but there's days when it's like, okay, this is doing this, but I should be doing that. But it all works out.
Yeah, it does. It's always great. Yeah, the cool. So what else? I mean, is there anything people need to know about ClueCon? I don't think it's. I think it's. I mean, it's the best conference ever. I've been there for a long time, and it's. And I think it's one of the few left. And this is a serious remark I'm making. It's one of the few left where it's truly technical. People talking to business people, and vice versa. While there's a lot of conferences around that are either only business conferences or only technical. And ClueCon is one of the few, and there used to be more, that have more of that vibe. A few of the conferences that are about this period, like Enterprise Connect or IT Expo and all the others, they're still great, but they lost some of the technical tracks over the years. Probably cost constraints, time constraints, whatever. People are very busy. ClueCon is the only place where you can come with your business idea, go to Len, ask him, and he'll tell you that it's a very bad idea and you should be using something else. And so use the SignalWire cloud, for example, instead of whatever concoction you're doing. That's
Yep, you can offload all of your hardware on us and then do everything in the cloud.
Oh yeah, we've been doing a lot of that, especially when it comes to video. Right now, I actually finished a very interesting proof of concept for a customer where they're keeping their FreeSWITChes. They're built out of Luan, dial plans, and all the stuff. But to scale out video, they're just pushing the video up to the cloud. And that's a very good way to handle it. You have to orchestrate the fact that you want to change the layout. You need to send a REST request to the cloud instead of your own FreeSWITCH server. But other than that, you don't really notice. You just set FreeSWITCH to use pass-through video, and they can do 1,000 people on a single box because the video is not happening on the box; it's happening in the cloud. So,
Yep.
check that out. Those are the things you can do with cloud that you cannot really do on-prem. So even if you're running stuff on-prem, come ask us. We have many good ideas and many options to help you. Cool. So, well, Len, thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, fellow FreeSWITCH community member, and throwing around servers sounds like the most fun thing ever. So we'll make sure it happens at ClueCon this year. Can we tape one of the servers that's giving me trouble to a rocket and just fire it off like over the lake and never to be seen again? There will be a demo. There'll be something like more like a revenge, but whatever. You can still do that.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun. Yeah. Next time we'll try and hitting it with a baseball bat and see how many hits it takes before calls goes down.
Hey, you could hollow out like a softball and then put the eye inside of that with the camera so you can see the pitch and the hit. But I don't know, like the shock, if it would
survive.
last.
It did. Okay, good. So, well, again, Len, thank you for joining us today. And people, for everybody else, ClueCon is going to be again in August, for August 14th to the 17th in Chicago. And the Great Drake Hotel, go check out ClueCon.com for all the information. And me and Len will be there waiting for you and for your questions, for your ideas. And Len will be waiting for you to build something spectacular using hardware and apparently bubble wrap or frisbees or anything that can be thrown around liberally. So we'll we'll make sure it's a fun time. And Len, thank you for joining us today.
All right, thank you, Luca.
Len Graham, FreeSWITCH engineer at SignalWire. And for the rest of the people, I'll see you next week. Goodbye.